Joe Rogan did not expose a politician this time. He exposed a family war. Charlie Kirk's legacy was already the subject of much conjecture on the internet. All over the place were hypotheses, video, and threads. Joe Rogan, however, was the last person anybody saw coming with the following surprise. Joe Rogan sat back in his chair, glanced across at his guest, and changed gears on a recent edition of his huge podcast. Elections were not the topic of his discussion. Culture conflicts were not what he was discussing. Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, and her disturbing link to Charlie's parents were the topics he was addressing. The topic was not skirted by Joe Rogan. He wasted no time pursuing it. People didn't know what was really going on between Erica and Charlie's family, he informed his audience. Those on the inside had told him stuff, he said. Factors that elucidated the palpable tension surrounding Charlie's funeral. The reasons why his widow's actions caused eyebrows to be raised. The reason for his parents' peculiar reticence. The response on the internet was immediate. People watched the footage and shared it on all their social media accounts. Hashtag Erica and the parents and hashtag Rogan exposes Kirk were among the hashtags that began to rise and trend. The video quickly became a digital firestorm in a matter of hours. The rumors ceased to be rumors. Questions were being demanded. Erica and Charlie's parents had a poisonous relationship for years, according to Joe Rogan. The source said that Charlie's public image, influence, and financial matters had been the subject of clandestine conflicts. People were really disturbed by what occurred next. Following Charlie's death, Joe Rogan implied that his parents were forcibly removed from his kingdom. It was intentional. By the careful steps Erica took. His intention was never to suggest that she had any plans before to Charlie's pass away. He made that plain. His point was that his parents aren't the ones making choices now that Charlie isn't around. Just look at the money. Yep, that's her. People would be astounded by the tales he had heard of the arguments that broke out between Erica and the parents. It occurred on the internet. Why would Erica want to exclude Charlie's own parents from the conversation? Their knowledge was limited. For some reason, Joe Rogan seemed to be quite sure that something evil was going on behind the scenes. Creators reenacted Joe Rogan's statements with dramatic effects, and the video spread over TikTok. A multitude of lengthy threads, attempting to reconstruct a chronology, proliferated on Twitter. According to other users, they had seen clues for a long time that Erica was concealing Charlie's parents' situation. It was claimed by some that Joe Rogan was inciting disorder without providing any evidence of this. However, this could not be denied by anybody. Charlie's assassinations had shattered a family conflict that was far worse than anybody had anticipated, if his sources were accurate. Things took a dark turn after that. At their request, Joe Rogan's guest, an unnamed industry insider, sat silently through the discussion before adding gasoline to the flames. Information about Erica was allegedly known to Charlie's parents, that her intention was to keep them from speaking, that there were recordings and documentation floating around that may drastically alter public perception of Charlie's widow. The internet became unresponsive at that particular term. Legal records, recordings. Everything changed when it became apparent that Charlie's own parents could have receipts that might reveal his widow. Out of nowhere, the plot shifted away from political platforming and politics. A family that had been estranged was the subject. A grieving widow faces allegations of manipulative behavior. Concerned parents who may have been coerced into keeping quiet. It couldn't be ignored, especially because Joe Rogan, widely recognized as the most prominent podcaster globally, was the one spearheading its exposure. Everyone felt it in the comments. There must be something burning beneath the smoke if Rogan is telling the truth. People remarked that because Erica's quiet was starting to seem risky, she had best start communicating. Some people tried to put themselves in Charlie's shoes and envision what it would be like to watch as someone else rewrote their son's tale as it unfolded. There was only one thing to know. Not simply a door had been cracked by Rogan. Kicking it off its hinges, he had done it. A single question has suddenly captivated the whole internet. Did Charlie's parents and Erica Kirk's parents tell the truth? This whole affair was only the prologue, according to Rogan's sources. Erica has been diligently preserving her image since Charlie's passing, but the next wave might ruin everything. You must go back to the family's past to see why Rogan's revelation was so shocking. Long before Charlie passing away, there were complex, tangled, half-hidden relationships. The emergence of Charlie Kirk was about more than simply a young guy with lofty goals and a lot of determination. It was also about a family that pushed him onward. His parents, according to those close to them, were crucial. His dad was quite protective of him. According to reports, Charlie's mother was discreetly working in the background to keep his early endeavors steady and afloat. It seemed as if they were one for quite some time, an up-and-coming star's dedicated family. Next, Erica showed up. When Charlie first met Erica, she was well known in conservative circles for her impeccable appearance and keen intuition. Independently ambitious, well-connected, and media-ready, she was a formidable opponent. Their marriage seemed to be ideal from the outside. Working toward the same goal, two sides of the movement stand next to each other. However, the reality was more challenging behind that image. Rumor has it that Charlie's life took a dramatic turn once Erica joined it, especially his bond with his mother and father. It began in subtle ways, according to a former employee who talked with a small blogger. Instead of getting his parents' input, Erica started making choices on her own. For example, who had access to Charlie personally, who managed the funds, and who had seats at the events. According to them, his parents changed from being his primary advisors to almost disappearing from his life within a year. It was a mental and emotional toll, a monetary one. Word got out about several nasty fights involving money and power. Find out who was truly in charge of the expanding empire. The people who saw the reports. Whoever Charlie's brand was controlled by. Tense debates over openness and supervision seemed to be depicted in one unsubstantiated email that was extensively posted on forums. Fans saw it as proof that Erica and Charlie's parents were engaged in a heated argument. Reportedly, things took a turn for the worst when Charlie's health began to deteriorate. Rumors Rogan said indicated that Erica's hold tightened. She ensured that Charlie's parents were excluded from important choices. Reporters were referred to Erica when they attempted to contact the family for comment after his passing. His legacy was to be conveyed via her. No one from Charlie's parents spoke forward. We wondered why they remained silent. How come they didn't stand in front of the cameras? Why were statements not being released? It was believed by some that they were too devastated to continue. The suspicion that the quiet was compelled started to grow among others, particularly after Rogan's experience. According to Rogan, an insider gave him a narrative that he shared on air. Even Charlie's parents had dared to step in at one point, attempted to raise doubts about the existing approach. They were entirely disregarded not long after that. Shows were no longer graced by their presence. Publicly, they ceased conversing. Taking charge of the story was someone Erica stepped into. This type of disappearing act, according to Rogan, does not occur by chance. Dots began to be connected on the internet. Videos of Charlie's parents supporting him at early events were uncovered by fans. In the following years, the pictures were contrasted by their almost complete disappearance. Concurrently, Erica's presence intensified, continued speeches, further interviews. She was further portrayed as the custodian of Charlie's memories in the following material. Partnership was not evident. It seemed to be a substitute. The notice that Rogan's visitor had left quickly drew everyone's attention. Allegations that Erica was implicated in paperwork, bank data, emails, and even recordings that Charlie's parents had. It would explain everything if it were true. The quick absence of them. Just quiet. Erica gained complete control when a mysterious power transfer occurred. Darker questions were also brought up by it. What did they really know? The question is why they hadn't gone public earlier. Were they under any kind of pressure? Threats of legal action? Leverage in the financial sector? The thought that a more powerful device may be trying to silence them? Theories abounded on the internet. Some said that in order to solidify authority, Erica had subtly orchestrated a coup by pushing the parents aside. Legal agreements had allegedly bound the parents, who others thought were hiding explosive information. Several individuals speculated that prior to his demise, Charlie had shared information with his parents, thereby placing upon them the responsibility of possessing knowledge they could not disclose without risk. Imaginary phone conversations between Erica and her in-laws were exaggerated by TikTok creators. Twitter created extensive timelines documenting the most recent public appearances of his parents. Whether Rogan was revealing a genuine cover-up or bolstering a sick conspiracy was the subject of heated arguments among Reddit forums. Yes, even famous people had an opinion. According to a country music artist, there was likely more to the tale if Rogan believed someone was concealing anything. Opposing the investigation was a political analyst who characterized it as an obscene intrusion into a family that was suffering. The flames simply became hotter due to the fighting. Erica did not say a word, avoid doing interviews, remarks abated. Her filtered Instagram postings were unchanged. Texts from the Bible, images in black and white, silence and strength-related captions. However, her feed had a different impact in this new setting. The motivational value of such postings has diminished. They evoked a sense of rebellion. It seemed as if Charlie's parents were the intended recipients of every oblique communication. The image was very clear. When the parents vanished, Erica's ascent seemed to coincide with it. As Charlie's parents were thrust into the shadows, the lady who had seemed to be a faithful companion now appeared to be the guardian of a kingdom. At last, someone was paying attention, and it was Rogan. The first significant explosion then occurred. Days after Rogan's comments, a tabloid published an alleged exclusive. Erica and Charlie's parents' split was exposed in private emails, according to the headline. Screenshots of hazy conversations between Erica and a financial advisor were included in the report. Erica purportedly said in the email that they could not let Charlie's parents to control any aspect of the inheritance any longer. The stakes were too high, and their interference may destroy her hard work. Anarchy ensued on the web. Everyone was captivated by the notion. I refused to let them control my every move. That seemed like evidence that Rogan was correct to a lot of fans. On purpose and without hesitation, Erica had expelled them. Posts on Twitter accumulated. Many people accused her of excluding his parents from the legacy that their son will leave behind. She had not simply defeated them, according to others, assuming the screenshots were real. Their erasure was her work. A fresh leak then surfaced. Someone uploaded an audio clip on Reddit. Supposedly, Charlie's mom and a trusted confidant were talking on the phone. There was an angry tone to the voice, which the audience took to be Mrs. Kirk. Erica, she said, was rewriting the past. That by excluding Charlie's parents, Erica was posing as the person who would look after his memory. Charlie, she adamantly maintained, would have never desired that. Platforms raced with the recording, cinematic music, and subtitles were added by TikTok producers. Every word was examined by YouTube channels. Onlookers were taken aback. It seems like Charlie's mom is suing Erica for allegedly stealing her son's name and reputation. The sentence that rocked everyone came halfway through the video. They had things Erica didn't want anyone to see, the voice said. That things would be different if those things were to come to light. At that same second, all the pieces came together. Rogan's visitor had hinted at these receipts. On the internet, there had been rumors about the same recordings and documents. Nuclear speculation ensued. Some thought the parents had evidence that Erica had tampered with the family's finances. Some claimed that private discussions may be captured in the recordings. Truths revealed. New information on Charlie's marriage was revealed. Even the most sinister scenario was considered by some. That Erica's deeds would be thrown into a terrifying new light by uncovering information about Charlie's deterioration. The media became even more engrossed. Various news programs argued over whether or not the audio was real. Disputes arose among the podcasters as to who was being more truthful. The story of a distraught widow and her parents' purported silencing made headlines. Erica gave the barest minimum of responses imaginable, not in a declaratory sense, in the form of a well-planned Instagram post, a caption requesting prayers and peace accompanied by clasped hands. It did the opposite of settling things down and infuriated people. Her remarks were rife with requests for candor. A lot of people told her that being honest was the first step toward peace. The plot took yet another unexpected turn. Pics purportedly taken from court documents submitted to Charlie's parents by Erica's attorneys were posted by a Twitter user going by the name of Family Truths. No public speaking was advised in the texts, keeping private information hidden. I don't mean to tarnish her reputation. This was not only a case of alienation, if the screenshots were the actual thing. Suppression was the term. A widely shared tweet claimed that she was considering legal action to silence her. Hashtag Let the Parents Speak became trending. Commentators and influencers quickly came to the parents' defense, calling for the liberty to freely express themselves without fear of retaliation. More. Gasoline was added by Joe Rogan. This was not a conspiracy, he said in a subsequent podcast session. A public statement by the parents would have been disastrous for Erica, he said. According to him, everyone already knew since they were being forced to remain silent. Rumors about the fighting had died down. The battle was full scale. Side by side Erica, Charlie's parents, however. The megaphone operator is Joe Rogan. Every new leak is seen in real time by millions of people. Additionally, the escalation had only begun. The parents of Charlie allegedly planned to expose their own data according to an independent journalist's investigation. The paper stated they possessed bank records, letters, and recordings that demonstrated Erica had distorted both the finances and the narrative following Charlie's death. Everyone online acted as if they were anticipating the season finale. Hashtag Erica Exposed and hashtag Kirk Files were among the most popular hashtags. Countdown modifications were made by TikTok developers. A trailer that went viral presented the purported release as an upcoming film. No one will be able to censor the truth this autumn. Through anonymous sources, Erica attempted to counterattack. The parents were portrayed in articles by sympathetic publications as fragile and mentally ill, with the implication that their charges were motivated by resentment and sadness rather than any actual evidence. Some saw it as a sign of despair. Some could have thought it was just the way crisis management is done. Another video purportedly using one of the video recordings appeared on a little YouTube account. A blurry image of Erica's face appeared in the thumbnail. Supposedly, it was a conversation between her and Charlie's parents that was released. The sound was really harsh. An elderly couple were disputed with by a lady whose voice was eerily similar to Erica's. They wouldn't go public, the voice said. People wouldn't trust them, they were warned. She now had authority over the tale, the voice urged. Their last possessions would be annihilated if they dared to speak. Nothing happened on the internet. This was more than merely tension if a recording was authentic. Dread pervaded the air. Something went boom in the clip. In only a few hours, millions of views. The soundtrack was superimposed over gloomy images by TikTokers. Large red letters appeared on Instagram posts that included the transcript. Dismantle everything became a trending hashtag in and of itself. The news media once again trembled. Some people proposed editing the audio. It sounded terrifyingly genuine. Others warily acknowledged. The internet mob, however, had already decided the role of Erica as a widow who would resort to threatening her in-laws in order to maintain power was being created. Then there was another anonymous account, claiming to have obtained excerpts from the Kirk files. Truth for Charlie made them public. Huge payments from Charlie's accounts to shell firms were seen in screenshots of what seemed to be financial records. Pictures of handwritten letters purportedly written by Charlie's dad, in which he warns Erica not to trust her with the inheritance and expresses his worry that someone is concealing something. Immediate consequences ensued. Commentators called for inquiries. Some terms began to trend, such as hashtag Erica fraud and hashtag follow the money. The artist meticulously examined each graphic scribble of handwriting, every line of text in lengthy live feeds. Social media no longer features Erica. Farewell, quotations. Forget about posting about style. Not a single thing. Things did not calm down while she was not there. People were much more distrustful as a result. Once again weighing in, Rogan reminded his audience that he had attempted to warn them. Many famous people expressed their condolences to Charlie's parents. Some referred to the whole situation as wicked. The crisis had grown to a size that no one could have anticipated. Supporters started a petition and used the hashtag Justice for the Kirks to call for the parents' freedom of speech to be unhindered by legal risks. The number of signatures flooded in at hundreds of thousands. Jokes began to appear on late-night programs. The joke about taking charge of the story and intimidating the law enforcement like a movie villain was hilariously ridiculed by comedians. Despite the audience's laughter, a chilly truth lurked under the surface. An extreme kind of control has become emblematic of Erica. Amidst it all, rumors circulated amongst industry insiders, suggesting that more was on the way, that the contents of the whole Kirk files were significantly more extensive than what has been revealed so far. Finally, a twist arrived. A grainy video of Charlie's parents in what seemed to be their living room surfaced late one night. His mom seemed frightened. The voice of his father quivered. It had been too long since they spoke. That truthfulness was due to their kid. It was because Erica understood why they had been kept quiet. A little USB drive was then presented by his father. According to him, this was her greatest fear. A fire sprang out on the web. Instantaneously, hashtags emerged. Its hashtags emerged. It's hashtag Kirk USB, led with truth. They were urged to post the material right away by the people. Live streamers waited for something to drop for hours on end before going live, but the video vanished before anything could be seen. The main platforms pulled it, YouTube removed it, Instagram detected it, keep losing re-uploads. Censorship was declared by many. Who was guarding Erica, and for what reason, they wanted to know. Someone close to the family allegedly communicated with a blogger. According to that source, Erica and the attorneys handling Charlie's estate exchanged emails on the USB. Emails reportedly written days after the burial. Erica spoke in the emails about taking away the parents' authority. There was more than just money in those files, according to the blogger. Charlie allegedly reportedly had private films and voice notes for his parents in their possession. According to reports, he voiced his reservations about Erica and his disapproval of the way his name was being utilized in those texts. Twitter users saw a single line of what seemed to be a voice note. Word on the street is that Charlie expressed his disapproval of the developments around his name to his parents. It was crucial to ensure that the truth was communicated in the event that anything were to happen to him. Assuming that to be true, the story had to go beyond a vengeful widow and her resentful relatives. A man's attempt to leave a message behind was the subject of this. No word came out of Erica's mouth, smothered by her quiet now. She was accused by fans of using coercion to get the video taken down. The contents on that disc may reveal more than her, according to others, so strong friends were stepping in. Everyone connected to Charlie's network might be exposed. Many people thought about the comments Charlie's parents made in that video. "We will not be silenced," they said, that no matter the cost, the truth will ultimately prevail. More than just a controversy, the tale had escalated. There was a USB. It was a huge gamble, but the parents were up for it. Unseen entities seemed prepared to resort to all means necessary to prevent the distribution of those data. With that, one unsettling question remained. If Charlie's parents lived long enough, they may be able to reveal what they had discovered. Would the voice memos ever be seen by the light of day? Just how much would Erica sacrifice to maintain her status quo? A widow and her in-laws conflict, which began as a whisper, had escalated into a full-scale confrontation, and now, after all that, the seepage, the communication by email, all of the recordings, the video that is missing, the hushed vocalizations, just one thing stands out. This is by no means an end of story. Depending on your perspective, Erica Kirk is either a very dangerous political widow or a very misunderstood one. The story was revealed by Joe Rogan. They attempted to pull it wide, Charlie's parents. Even more so now that the whole world is observing. Erica and her parents are not the only ones responsible for what occurs next. Who pays attention also matters. Now I want to know your opinion. Could Erica be hiding her guilt or her sadness by being silent? Do you think all of the receipts are really on the USB? Or was it a painful, hollow bluff? Did Charlie make any efforts to alert the world before it became too late, assuming the voice note was genuine? Post your hypotheses here, present your case, analyze and contrast. Establish a connection. No one can ignore this story any longer as the discussion becomes louder. Press the like button to ensure that the algorithm continues to display this content. If you want more people to see what's going on, share this video. And because this story is far from over, be sure to subscribe. Joe Rogan intends to continue speaking. Uncovering herself is an ongoing process for Erica. The files are on their way according to Charlie's parents. Erica won't be the only one jolted when the next leak occurs. Everything Charlie constructed may be destroyed by it. Plus, the last question is going to be easy.